Waking up in the middle of the night sucks. It especially sucks when, I'll speak for myself, when I wake up, it's 1, 2, 3, something in the morning. I want to go back to sleep because I don't want to wake up feeling groggy. I don't want to wake up feeling sleepy. And I know that when I don't sleep well, it impacts everything. It impacts my mood and my emotions, my irritability. It messes with my mental cognitions and like thinking clearly and stuff. And for the longest time, I've struggled with random bouts of not sleeping well, waking up at odd hours like 3 a.m., even in the case of point last night, and wondering what's going on. And what I want to talk about in this video is what is going on, and also a pathway, a really simple pathway that I have been experimenting with and have been finding has been helping me to get back to sleep, to have better energy, but to also really understand the message that comes from this particular phenomena that for a long time I've related to as a problem, but perhaps isn't. Funny thing, actually perfect, is that this little mural art behind me, got these two little dudes. One of them looks like he's shedding a tear. One of them looks like he's kind of angry. Felt like as I was roaming around Mexico City trying to figure out where to be, which by the way, we're in Mexico City, we're in a very populated area. You're gonna hear lots of fun little background noises, dogs barking, birds chirping, cars passing, people working. So we're gonna include that into our experience today. Who knows, maybe I'll be so lucky to be able to clean some of it up in post. But I was walking around and everywhere was really loud. So I just kept walking and walking and walking. And then eventually I found this little spot. It's probably not the best framing, but it feels like a perfect lead into this conversation around what is going on beneath the surface. So obviously we know, science backed, but more importantly, experience backed, not sleeping well fucking sucks. As I was explaining earlier, it impacts all areas. It impacts psyche, cognition, mental thinking. It impacts emotional well-being, because when I'm not sleeping well, I am more quickly to lean into anger or to feel sad or to feel frustrated or feel like my wick is super short and I'm not able to be the version of myself with people in stressful situations that feels like the highest expression of me. And when that accumulates, when I start to not sleep consistently, and I have had this experience for days and even weeks at a time, it gets to a point where it's fucking debilitating. Like, it is difficult to do anything, to hold space for anyone. It feels difficult to get out of bed, let alone try to do complex problem solving or to deal with the infinite stressors that life presents. And so when I started going through my fascial maneuvers practice, my training for it, one of the things that started to come up was the relationship between emotions, different organs in the body, and its connection to what has been found over a very long time through traditional Chinese medicine. And so when I take the example, and funny enough, literally last night, I say this morning, I woke up super early. I was like, what time is it? Shit, it's 3 a.m. I'm not unfamiliar with this one. What does this mean? There is a traditional Chinese medicine clock, which I'll link a photo to it in the description. I think I can do that. See if I can find that. If not, you can Google traditional Chinese medicine clock and like emotions in relationship to certain times. And what I found was that at the intersection of 3 a.m. is that our body at different times in the evening and also throughout the day is detoxing, is cleaning out, is resetting itself, no different than when we eat food and our body digests and we poop. It's excreting the unnecessary, it's excreting the waste, it's getting rid of the stuff that no longer needs to be there. And if we get constipated, then it leads to all kinds of gastrointestinal issues. It leads to a myriad of health issues. So obviously having a normal flow when it comes to our caca is really important. And the same is equally true. And I would venture so far to say even more important. Actually, I'm not gonna make that comparison because they're actually really, really fucking important. But like, it's really fucking important that we also have the same level of emotional flow, of energetic flow. And what I mean by that is if we get constipated with poop, it has a myriad of ramifications, but the same thing is true when we get constipated with our emotions. And so, case in point, with 3 a.m., I'm like, well, what is the connection to the emotion here? And what I find is that between 1 and 3 a.m., that it's connected to the liver. And between 3 and 5 a.m., it's connected to the lungs. Well, what does that mean? What emotions are being governed by these organs? From 1 to 3 a.m., the liver, it's anger and resentment. And from 3 to 5 a.m., I mean, maybe it is a perfect example, but it's grief and sadness. I really think that this is perfect that I literally just last night was, this morning, not sleeping well, and this beautiful little mural art showed up. When I wake up at 3 a.m., right in the intersect of anger and sadness, I realize, oh, I'm waking up because in my waking consciousness, there were emotions and experiences that happened during my day that brought on an emotional load that I didn't fully digest in my waking hours. And so now my body is digesting it in the middle of the night. Like food, my body is trying to digest these emotions. I want to talk to you about some of the things that I did following that, because one of the mistakes that I made for the long time was just trying to go back to sleep, which I know that if you wake up with a racing head of thoughts, not feeling settled, trying to go back to sleep almost invariably doesn't work. It usually leads to frustration or just sitting there just like, when is it time to get up? And then you feel exhausted. And what I've come to realize is that waking up at those times is actually a really incredible opportunity for healing and transformation. Because where I would normally try to roll over and act like that isn't happening, my experience isn't happening. This morning, for instance, I tried to roll over for a little bit and it wasn't happening. I said, okay, traditional Chinese medicine clock, what is it? Anger, grief. Okay. Hey, body, what organ is connected to that? Liver, lungs. Okay. Well, what can I do to be able to help my liver, my lung to be able to process these emotions? And that's where fascial maneuvers came in. And so I want to share with you what I actually did and what I want to do, which as I'm recording this, I'm realizing I don't have this created yet. So it's going to be perfect to share later. But there are ways to be able to connect with, to breathe with, and to be able to express and release the emotions that get trapped inside of our organs. And so I'm actually going to create a video called The Organ Reset that I'll link into it'll be my channel. By the time you're watching this, probably like a week or two later, you'll see the organ reset and you'll be able to do that practice. But for this one in particular, knowing that the gallbladder slash liver, anger slash resentment is kind of hanging out right here, if I find my rib cage, it's a little bit below, is I can actually take, well, first I like to do one of these numbers, rip my hands together, knuckles, knuckles, and I do this and it starts to activate the energy meridians in my hand. I take my left hand, I place it on my neck, acting as the conduit, sending energy, and then I direct that energy to the organ. And so in this case, that organ being right here in the liver section, is I'm actually pressing with my fingers. You don't have to press super intensely, but I press in, I twist. I like to twist until my thumb comes up. And I'm just going to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. You can choose what feels best for you in the moment. And as I started to do this, I just started to speak to what I was having come up in relationship to anger. Like going through a kind of a 3-part process, like acknowledgement, ownership of, and releasing. And so acknowledging, like, hey, body, like, it really fucking sucks that this is going on. Like, it really, really hurts. It makes me so fucking pissed that I feel this distance growing between me and the people that I love. It makes me so mad, like, to the point where I could just, like, punch a wall or just want to scream. I feel it, and I know that I haven't been giving myself the space to express it. Thank you, body, for doing your best, holding these emotions, allowing us to experience these emotions. I know they're an important part of my human experience. And I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go of the anger. I don't want to, I don't need to hold this in my body anymore. And release. When I did this practice, I sat with that particular organ along with my lungs for, I don't even know, it was probably at least 10 minutes each, just breathing and speaking to them. And I did it to my lungs. I just got in the best that I could, pressing my fingers up and under my rib cage, pressing into the lungs. Because really the main thing is like really the intention. It's not about like I have to be perfectly on top of my lungs. It's getting close in that direction, pressing in, imagining, sending energy into that space and breathing with and connecting with and speaking to the actual experience that's there. Because the problem is that we condition ourselves to not feel, to not experience, to not express our emotions. It goes undigested. We get constipated. And it is thought, and I am part of this school of thought, that the source of almost all disease and illness in the body is the byproduct of unprocessed emotions. We're so emotionally constipated all the time. It's all this shit that's going on with life that we wake up in the middle of the night exhausted, wanting to sleep, but it's the body's way of saying like, hey, I really need your attention right now. So doing the organ reset, or just put it succinctly, like connect with your organs, start to learn where they're at and what the emotions are. Again, you can Google traditional Chinese medicine, what organs connect with which one. I just obviously talked about 2 of them. The other thing that I did was I took a hot shower, because I know that a hot shower is going to help me to relax more into my body. And then I went into a 30-minute heart coherence meditation, and was just like focusing my heart. Sometimes I float off in thoughts and I come back to my heart. And it was just like I want to keep continuing to come back to my heart and allow myself to again experience like what's coming through. And by the end of that, I would show you if it wasn't recording on my phone. By the end of that, I went on this like 20-minute spree of just stream of thought, consciousness flowing, and ideas and like things for the business, and ways that I've not been honestly expressing frustrations with people that have been holding back, and this person that I need to speak to and tell them, hey, like I really didn't appreciate that, and like, hey, can we try doing this differently, and like things that I needed to take ownership of, like all these things that have been going on in my unconscious that I've been allowing to just like float around. And meanwhile, like these emotions are just like brewing up, and I can feel it. Like I can feel my unsettledness. I can feel my unease. I can feel my shortness with my significant other. I can feel it messing with my creativity, with my desire to create these videos. It's been so tough lately because I've been wanting to create stuff that feels real and stuff that is on my heart and I feel like really matters, and simultaneously learning how to follow a system that is like, you must speak this way and do this hook and do this thing, and if you don't do that, then people won't stick around. It's like it like fucks with the desire to want to be creative and show up. And so I was just like, you know what, like this video is going to be me honestly expressing something that I've been experiencing, that I know other people are experiencing. And the more stressful life becomes, the more it's going to show up. And instead of trying to run away from the problems, which I've been notorious for, and we all have our own ways of avoiding the things that are causing us dis-ease or causing us pain or causing us illness, that the best thing that we can ever possibly do is look at it so deeply, look at it so intently, pour so much love and intention into it that our body can finally say, hey, I'm ready to let go now. And that's what this is all about. It's about recognizing that our body, the beautifully intelligent design that it has, will continue to send us text messages in the form of waking up at 3 a.m., 1 a.m., 5 a.m., feeling restless during the day, feeling restless in the evening. It will continue to send those messages because it loves us and it cares about us. It is the way that the divine speaks to and through us. And once we pick up the phone and start to do something about it, that's when we start to feel peaceful. It's when I finally decide I'm going to get over myself and record something and know and trust that it will get to the right person at the right time. So, from me to you, if you've been struggling, not sleeping, see this as an opportunity to tune in, to listen to what your body is saying, to breathe and to move and to connect with your body in a way that it can release what's present. And prioritize you. No excuses. I truly hope from the bottom of my heart this was helpful, that you really do take to heart these ideas and principles and don't just hear it, but actually do it. Try connecting with your organs. Try connecting to, like, I'm waking up at this time. What organ is that connected to? Oh, it's anger. Oh, where have I been feeling angry? And like, take that time to connect and breathe, and take the time to journal, and take the time to do a loving, connected meditation to connect to your heart. I'll link a heart coherence meditation below if you want to do that as well, because that can help. It can help me. You can give it a shot. And when you get the opportunity, a week, 2 from now, the video will probably be released by the time you see it, but if not, you'll see the organ reset, and that'll be a great way to start building that practice. Thank you so much for your time. And if you are wanting to go deeper into this type of work, connecting with your emotions, connecting with your body, healing what is unresolved, and ultimately reclaiming the peace within yourself so that you can create a life that lights you the fuck up, you should come join me and the community in the Remembrance Dojo. Link is in the description. I pray that you learn the lessons that your body, your divine intelligence is guiding you towards, and that you continue to remember who you are and who you came here to be. I love you. Stay beautiful, stay peaceful.